People ask,
what do you want to do?
What do you want to do?
What do you want to be?
What do you want to be?
What I want to know is,
What I want to learn is,
what I want to find out is how to do it.
How to get there.
how to get there. How to get there.
How to be what I dream.
how to be what I dream.
How to be what I dream.
How to be what I dream. Be what I dream.
Be what I dream.
Navigation 101.
Navigation.
Navigation? Navigation 101.
Nav101, we call it connections here at Bremerton High School, and that was our vision from the very beginning. Was we wanted a way, a vehicle to connect with all kids.
I think one of the main goals is the connection we make with students.
Navigation 101 really brings out relationships.
It allows all students to have access to equal opportunities within the school systems.
I think for me as a teacher, the most important life skill we can help our students have is how to make their dreams happen.
Kids will go up to an advisory teacher and say, you know, I didn't think I could go to college, but now I'm really interested, and I always wanted to do theater, and all of a sudden doors are open and they're going a whole different direction than they would have before.
Every student has an opportunity to discover their own uniqueness and become intentional about fulfilling their needs in their lives and planning in a very systematic way for their future. And that's every student across the board.
The thing that really motivated us into going down this path was information from the U.S. Census Bureau that educational attainment tends to be based upon your socioeconomic level, how much money you make. And we didn't think that that was right. We felt like it doesn't have to be that way.
Children from higher family incomes go on to complete baccalaureate degrees at about a 75% rate. Children from poverty complete at about an 8% rate. And it's a social justice issue for us. We want to equalize the opportunity for all students. Navigation is a guidance program. It's comprehensive in nature. And the old guidance program served a third of the students. The new system really makes it difficult for students to be invisible. They can still slide through, but it's a lot tougher.
What we really do is encourage kids to look way beyond graduation requirements, but let's take a look at, you know, what is it that you want for your future and what kinds of curriculum choices are going to get you there.
It demystifies graduation requirements. It demystifies what is needed to move forward into whatever that 13th year plan looks like.
The students can no longer randomly go through high school and expect to leave high school with great opportunity. In the world we live in, it requires that students plan, prepare, and have the kinds of skills that are going to open the doors that are important for them after high school.
There's a lot of reasons to do it, but the basic one is because it's the best thing it's the best for kids. And by the way, it meets our graduation requirements that we're all struggling with that the state legislature has set down for us.
We start with the concept of advisor, advisee. The concept behind advisor is a caring adult. We think by just delivering the navigation lessons, that caring relationship occurs. The second element, the planning portfolio. Now you'll notice I use the word planning. Planning for their goals personally when it comes to what they want in terms of a career and what they want in terms of their education. Student-led conferencing. In navigation, the student-led conference, the student actually does the conference. The adults are asked not to talk, and the advisor is there to prompt the student if they need help. The fourth element that's gotten a lot of attention, and that is student-driven scheduling at the high school. In the middle school, we see that as student-driven education. How are we using the information from these conferences to better accommodate the needs of our students and our parents? And then lastly, data. What good is this doing? We've done all this work. What have we seen? The unique thing about navigation, it's the concept of putting it all together, putting it in a package, bundling it. That seems to be rather unique.
I know that somebody looking at the Navigation 101 and looking at the 5 components might think, wow, this is overwhelming. How in the world am I going to, put all of this in motion? How, we've got so much change hitting us so fast. Wow, what are we going to do with all this? And so I'm guessing that it might be tempting to take a look at the pieces as individual components and say, well, we can't do all of them, but we can do these 2 pieces. And And I would caution against that. I think that it's the value of it coming together as a whole that really gives you the results that, you know, I would hope you're looking for if you're looking at implementing a program like this.
Advisory. Personalized.
Personalized.
Advisory.
Advisory.
Personalized.
Advisory. Advisory.
My favorite thing is that it blends so well with the work I try to do as a career counselor.
For me, the thing I like about advisory is that I get to work with students over a period of time.
As a teacher, you are able to create this unique bond with students that I think you can't get in any other class, simply because you're going to be connected with these kids for the next 4 years.
Really, it's the students. I mean, seeing what students can do if they are given the chance to prove themselves.
The favorite thing about advisory is that we had the same class for all 4 years.
What I like about Connections is that our advisor helps us set up our portfolio.
They really do help you get on track for after high school, and that's probably the best thing about it.
The best thing about Connections is getting geared towards the path you want to go, because it really opens your eyes to what the future has in store.
The advisory program is maybe the best program I've ever been involved in 34 years of education.
Advisory creates smallness out of largeness, and it puts a group of students together for 4 years to create a sense of community. And it puts a teacher in a guidance role with students to better reach all students, regardless of, you know, who they are as a learner and what their future goals are.
One of the amazing benefits of advisory is that students will interact with an advisor over a 4-year period of time. And that interaction is centered around students as individuals. It's centered around their particular interests, their aptitudes, planning, goal setting. And so the curriculum itself lends the advisory to a kind of relationship that is much different than a normal classroom.
The navigation curriculum really does help the advisor to foster that relationship.
It's not just about curriculum as many of their classrooms are, but it's about individual students and who they are and what their plans are and where they're headed in the future. And as they interact with them along that curriculum, magical things happen.
It allows the advisor kind of a picture into the student's life.
Students have questions that oftentimes no one has the answer for. And so knowing that they don't always have to be experts, they can always refer that student in the proper direction to get the kinds of information that they need. Oftentimes advisors are referring students to the grade level counselor, for example. And that's good. That's very good that they're being asked and someone is finding a way to get the information that they need.